Good morning, folks. How are you this morning? We're looking this morning at a photograph of my children. My 4 children on the left with the brown, blonde hair in the part, in the mo, is my son Michael. And alongside him is his sister, Sharon, and then there's Kerry, and on the right hand side is my eldest son, Gus. Call him Gus, but his real name's Gary, or Garrick. Now, they're my favourite children. They're wonderful children. I'm going to talk about them this morning because there's a story. Each one of them has a story, and I want to tell you about them. Good morning, folks. How are you this morning? I feel pretty good. I've had a lot of hours sleep. It's 7:20 in the morning and I've slept soundly for nearly 12 hours. God, because I went to the shrink yesterday and they gave me some pills. I'll tell you about them shortly. But I want to start by this morning by telling you about my family. My children. I've got 4 children. And from 2 marriages. My wife, Margaret, was married before. And I met her in Alexandra around Christmas time, New Year's Eve when we first met. But after going out for a few weeks, she told me she was pregnant, and so I finished up marrying her. And she had 2 children, Gus and Michael. You saw in the thing, 2 boys, Gus and Michael. And we left Timaru. We were married in Alexandra and St. Otago. And we left there and went to Ashburton because I wanted to get away from the stigma that was happening around with the 2 boys, you know. And I took the 2 boys into a registry office in Ashburton, and I adopted them. I said, "Hello, boys, I'm now going to be your father." And I took them home and I set them down. And I said, "Today I'm your father. You call me Dad from now on." And that's it. And they did. They've been bloody good boys. Jesus, they're good. But I couldn't have bettered, you know, because I was concerned. Step relations don't work, do they? Stepsons, stepdaughters, all those step relations don't really work in the world. And I wanted mine to work. So I made a commitment to those boys. I said, you know, I'll stick by you, regardless of what happens. Okay? Just a minute. Yeah, sorry about that. Forgive me if I sound a bit upset this morning, but I had some bad news yesterday. I went to the psychiatrist and he showed me my brain, and I've got Alzheimer's disease. My brain has shrunk, and I've only got a short time to live. 3 to 5 years. Is what they say. People get Alzheimer's. That's better. Bloody good cry. You can't beat a bloody good cry, eh? Just a minute, I'll shut the door. So why was I crying? Bloody big man, 72 years of age, bloody crying. Told you someone says you got Alzheimer's. How do you know that? Build these pictures on a computer and say this is happening. I don't know that. I told the shrink, I said, I want another second opinion on this. I'm not too sure. Sure, I forget things. I make 2 cups of tea instead of 1. One day I forgot my wife. I went to a party and come home and forgot to pick up my wife. Yeah, I've got forgetfulness. That's what I've got. And you may hear I'm slurring my speech a bit today. I don't know whether it's working or not. I don't know whether I've got Alzheimer's. I want another opinion, and I've asked my doctor to give me another opinion. I want to see a neurologist, not a psychiatrist. I want to see a neurologist. I want them to take my photo of my brain again and say, look, this man is going to die in 3 to 5 years, or whatever. Okay? But I'm not going to die. This is the good news. The good news, I'm not going to die. You see, I'm going to beat this bloody thing. I've beaten things before bigger than this. And I can beat this. I beat cancer. I had bloody prostate cancer, and I beat that. And I'm going to beat this as well. They told me I couldn't change, that it's an illness that you can't stop. It just keeps going. It's all about attitude, though. It's all about what you think. And I've got some things I'm going to be talking about. I've got a new website called Personal Self-Development. I want you to go to that now. Write this name down. Personal Self-Development. Or just, I think it's called Self-Development. Anyway, .co.nz. It's self-development, that's right, selfdevelopment.co.nz. I'm going to be talking about the brain on there. I'm going to be talking about lots of stuff on there. I'm going to be telling you how I'm going to beat my Alzheimer's disease. I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to beat it. I'm going to show you how. But right now I've got another big challenge on my hand. I'm trying to change the New Zealand employment law in New Zealand. It's crippling small business owners and destroying the country. And I'm trying to change things here. But I'm getting no support. My son rang up yesterday, Gus, the oldest boy. He's got the steam on in out there at Pleasant Point. He rang up and said, Dad, I heard you're not too good. And I said, no, I'm not bloody good. Gus, and I said, the reason I'm not too good is my stress and anxiety. I've had 5 years of stress and anxiety fighting the employment law. And I said, nobody will support me. I can't get any bloody support at all. He said, Dad, you want support. You've got to get business people. You've got to get someone with a bit of clout to get behind you. But you see, he's a business person. He's a small business owner himself, but he wouldn't bloody help me. No. He tells me, give me all the bloody advice. Wouldn't come in to see me. Rings up on the phone. He knows where I bloody live. God almighty. But I love the boy. He's not a bad bloke. Not too sure about his bloody son, though. He's got a son called Dean. Oh, smart little prick he is. I rang him up one day when he was only a teenager. And because he's a twin. Him and Tracy are twins. And I rang Dean and I said, happy birthday, Dean. It was his birthday party. Happy birthday. He says, oh, thanks, Dad. Thanks, Pop. But don't ever ring me again. Put the phone down. I rang him back and said, what? Did I get the wrong number? He said, no, don't ever ring me again. Jesus Christ. And a couple of years later, I went out there to wish him happy Christmas. And he wouldn't even shake my hand. Walked away from me. How do you think I felt? I adopted his bloody father. His father didn't have a father. He had a father, but the bugger didn't want to know him. A fella Kennedy. He walked away from him. And I bloody picked Gus up and gave him a father. And now his bloody son won't even speak to me. Hey, you wonder I get angry? This bloody McSkimmings. You see, I married a McSkimming. Margaret McSkimming she was. And bloody McSkimmings. Margaret's got a brother, younger brother, called Scuff. We call him Scuff. He's actually Stuart is his name. A big time bugger. Yeah, had a job with the bloody caterpillar people. Travelled all around the world, buying up bloody farm, machinery, heavy machinery and stuff like that. Caterpillar, yeah. Now he's flies bloody helicopters, does all bloody things. Big time. But he's had 2 bloody marriages. And he won't even come and see us. Because I growled at him. Because he's got a son called, what's his name? Mark. He married this girl. And I was the toastmaster at their wedding. And they had a row just after they married and they split up. Mark and I can't remember her name anyway. Over kids. It was over kids. But anyway, they had kids. They had a baby. This Mark bloke, this son of Margaret's brother, they had a baby, him and his wife. And they bloody didn't even send the mother any photos or ring the mother up, the grandmother. The mother of Mark wasn't at the wedding because they had a big row. And I interfered. I said, Jesus, you can't do that. That child's going to grow up not knowing its grandmother. So I stirred it up, and they haven't spoken to me since. Ah, jeez, families. Here it is. It's all in here. It's called the Bible. It's all about families in here. I've been a Christian now since 1991, and anyway, I use the Bible. This is my instructions. When I'm in the bloody cart, I go here and I look in here. So if my bloody family's rejecting me, I go to here and find out why. And I open it up at any old page, and there's a bloke in here called Jesus Christ, and he's a mate of mine, and he's a hard case, this fella. He's been around a bit, and he knows his stuff. Anyway, I open this up, and I read here. Everything's in red where he speaks. He said, and there's a story here about, and then they. But Jesus stooped down and wrote on the ground with his finger as though he did not hear. So when they continued asking him, he raised himself up and said to them, "He who is without sin among you, let him throw a stone at her first." Right? That's what Jesus said. He said, "He who is without sin among you, let her throw a stone at her first." What's that all about? Well, it's about adultery. You see, this is a woman that committed adultery. Jesus found this woman that was committed adultery. And the crowd wanted to stone her because it was supposed to be real bad. And he said, well, you've all bloody committed adultery, the whole lot of you. And it happens all the time. Women are committing adultery, men are committing adultery every day, right? And we're all sinners. And Jesus said, well, if you haven't ever done it, throw a stone. You throw the first stone. No one threw the first stone, right? Yeah. So, listen, I need some help. Will you please give me some help? I don't know how long I'm going to live. But I'll tell you what. I've decided if my bloody brain is that bad, I'm going to donate it to science. I'm going to give it, there's a place in Auckland that takes brains. And I'm going to give my brain to science. And I want it to be called the Bishop Brain. Right? The Bishop Brain. I shot my brother when he was 11. I was 16. He's buried in the Wakatani Cemetery in the Bay of Plenty. When I die, I want some bugger to put me on an aeroplane, take me up there to Wakatani, and put me in the bloody hole with my brother, and cut my brain out, send it to Auckland, put it in a museum, and say this is a Bishop Brain. The Bishop Brain. Very intelligent brain. Did some marvellous things, that brain. Had a hard life. But beat the bloody odds. He beat cancer. He beat Alzheimer's disease. He developed a way of doing it called Think Talk. He's the creator of Think Talk. How to cure Alzheimer's, how to cure illnesses and change the attitude of other people. Yeah, the Bishop Brain. What a fantastic brain. Gotta go. Got some more crying to do. I gotta get on with work. Gotta go work. Gotta put this on the line so you'll be there when you wake up in the morning. Every morning I'm coming online. I'm gonna be talking about myself. I'm talking about true stories here in the life of Ronnie B. I'm Ronnie B. And I'm talking about true stories about my life. Every morning. Hey, I love you all. Gus, you're a great son. Michael, fantastic. My greatest mate of all. Michael. Worked with him in the bush I did once. He put bloody tattoos on his arms like growled at him for that. Got him out of the bloody, pinched some bloody soft drink out of the bloody football grounds. Got him out of that. Yeah, bloody good kid. Oh dear, I got a great family. Great family. Kerry, my oldest daughter, do anything for me. Jeez, she's lovely. And Sharon, she's married to a bloody doctor of philosophy. They're in Melbourne. But you see, they won't even listen. They won't listen to this tape. My daughters, I've told them, I'm online, they won't even listen. They're not bloody interested in Dad. Let him work his own problems out. Okay, I'm going to get a growling. I'm going to get a growling for talking about my family. I'm not allowed to talk about my family. They tell me, don't get on there in the bloody every morning talking about your family. Well, I've done it. So there. And listen, kids. You know where I live, 132 Canadian Road. Bring me a bunch of bloody flowers. Okay? I'll see you later. Bye-bye.